cam clip number 4, what we're going to start to look at now is what are the functional units of the nervous system. So we're looking at the cells. There's two types of cells, neuroglial, okay, and neurons. So neurons are the functional unit. That's the part that conducts and is irritable. And the neuroglial are the support cells. Although they're not the same, I think of them like the connective tissue, if you will, in the connective tissue. So they are the support cells, okay, neuroglial support cells. And what they do is they are like our glue. Remember we talked about connective tissue being the glue? Well, these cells, what they do is they support the neurons so the neurons can do their job. And there's multiple, 5 times more abundant than the nerve cells. And when someone gets a tumor in the brain area, in the nervous system, it's not the neurons, but the neuroglial cells that are the tumor cells. So first of all, we have the nerve cell, and the nerve cell is the functional unit of the neuron. And I'm just going to go to a picture here. Okay, we'll flip back and forth amongst the pictures. So there's an example of a neuron, okay, and what it does is it senses, it picks up information. So we would pick up information here, okay, or receptor, and that information would go into the cell body to be integrated, okay, cell body, integration, and then it would travel on the rest of the neuron to either the next neuron or a effector. Remember, an effector is a muscle or a gland. So we see the properties of sense and response, integration and response here, even at the cellular level. So it allows us to react to chemical and physical changes, and that's of course a protective mechanism for us in the body. Now, this picture here are just some examples of neuroglial cells. We spend a little bit more time at the end of the unit going over neuroglial cells again. And then there's another picture here that shows, so we don't need to know the names of them right now, but you can see here's one. Okay, here's our neuron. This is the conducting part. Okay, this is the part that does the transmission. And here's another cell. Okay, and here's another cell. And so you can see, for example, we said it's a protection mechanism or helps support and protect. So you can see that this astrocyte, this is the blood vessel, is keeping the neuron close to the blood supply. So an example of support. This microglial cells floating around and acting like a phagocyte there. So just some examples. We'll talk more specific later. So neurons, as we said, vary in size and shape, but structure dictates function. And in that size and shape, what we know from this picture is they all have common features. Okay, a cell body. So take a look and locate the cell body. And the cell body has cytoplasm in it, just like other cells do. There are cell membranes. Most of our organelles are in there. There's no centrioles because it doesn't divide. And there's a nucleus, but after maturation, it doesn't mitose. Nerve cells and muscle cells don't continue to divide throughout life. So when we damage a neuron, the damage is a permanent situation. Okay, so the other parts is they have extensions. So extensions on one side of the cell body versus extensions on the other side of the cell body. This is receiving and this is transmitting. And the impulses travel one way. I don't know if I can spell transmitting. There it is. So let's continue to look. So what are the parts? I'm going to go to a different picture because I've kind of mucked this one up quite a bit. So what are the parts of a neuron? Well, the dendrites. So let's locate the dendrites. Here, here, and here. Okay, and dendrites are going to receive the information. They're extensions that are leading to the cell body, Axons away. So axons carry information away from the cell body. Again, can be highly branched or can be single. And you see at the end they're branched more so here. And they transmit axons away. Okay. In this picture, we will come back and talk about multipolar, bipolar, and unipolar in the next little while. Okay, so I like this picture because it kind of separates the three pieces. Okay, so it looks at the dendrites and this, where the information is being received and interpreted here, the traveling, and the transmission, or where we're going to send it to. Okay, so here, this is going to go on to another neuron or an effector, whatever it is. And that's the end of CAM clip 4.